Hi, my name is Thomas Timothy, and I would like to do a commentary on First Samuel chapter 24 and then chapter 26. So I'm very much happy and privileged to do this commentary on these two chapters, and I hope you're going to listen carefully and enjoy this commentary. This is my first time, but I'm doing all my best so that you guys are able to listen, follow carefully. Please listen till the end of this commentary. To start off, these two chapters, they narrate significant moments in David's life when he had an opportunity to kill King Saul, but rather he chose to spare him. So these both chapters highlight David's integrity, faith in God's justice, and his commitment to righteousness. Alright, starting with the book of 1 Samuel, the first chapter, which is chapter 24, we see that David spared Saul in the cave. David and his men were hiding in a cave when Saul unknowingly entered to rest. Then David's men saw this as a divine opportunity for David to kill Saul and take the throne. However, David only cut off a piece of Saul's robe, showing restraint and respect for God's anointed king. So what are the key things or key themes that we can learn from here? The first one is respect for God's anointed. David refused to harm Saul, recognizing that God had placed him as a king. So this demonstrated David's patience and trust in God's timing. The second one is the testing of character. Though David had a chance to take revenge, he showed self-control and mercy, proving his worthiness to be king. The third point is God's justice. Now, David trusted that God would remove Saul in his own way, rather than taking matters into his own hands. So these are the three things that we can learn from this first chapter. So David later now confronted Saul from a distance, proving his innocence. Saul, moved by David's mercy, acknowledged David's future kingship and momentarily repented. So we see that Saul, because of what David did, Saul also repented. So moving forward, I would like to look at the 1 Samuel 26. Here we see that David spared Saul again for the second time. This was a similar event that happened later when Saul is pursuing David again. David and his companion Abishai infiltrate Saul's camp at night while everyone is asleep. Abishai urges David to kill Saul, but then David again refuses. Instead, he took Saul's spear and water jug as proof that he had spared him. Now, what are the key things that we can learn from here again? The first one is a repeated test of mercy. David again proves his commitment to righteousness by not harming Saul, showing consistency in his character. The second thing is faith in God's plan. David insists that Saul's fate is in God's hand, not his own. So the last thing that we can learn from there again is leadership qualities. David demonstrates wisdom, patience, and reliance on God, qualities of a true leader. When David later reveals what he did, Saul acknowledges David's righteousness, but still does not change his ways. So what are the few lessons that we can learn from these two chapters? The first one I would say is trust God's timing. Even when opportunities seem perfect, we must wait on God's plan. The second thing is show mercy even to enemies. David's actions reflect Jesus' teaching on loving our enemies in Matthew chapter 4, verse 44. Matthew chapter 5, verse 44. So the last thing is integrity is greater than power. Leadership is about righteousness, not just seizing control. Thank you so much if you are able to listen to this commentary from the first chapter to the last chapter. May God bless you and see you next time.